Hey everyone, it's Eve. Have you ever had a fight that felt like a broken record? You know the one. It starts with something tiny, a dish left in the sink, a late text, a misunderstood tone of voice, and within 5 minutes, you're arguing about things that happened 3 years ago. You feel attacked, they feel attacked, and eventually one of you storms out or just stops talking altogether. The worst part isn't the fight itself, it's the feeling that nothing was actually fixed. You just went through a storm and you're both left standing in the wreckage, waiting for the next one to hit. Most of us were never taught how to fight. We were taught that fighting is bad and that a good relationship shouldn't have conflict. But that is a myth. Every relationship has conflict. The difference between a relationship that thrives and one that collapses isn't the absence of fighting, it's the presence of repair. Today, Eve is going to help you spot the invisible assassins that sneak into our arguments and destroy our connections. If you can learn to see them coming, you can stop the cycle. According to decades of research by Dr. John Gottman, there are 4 specific communication patterns that are so destructive, they are known as the 4 Horsemen. When these 4 show up in an argument, they don't just solve nothing, they actively poison the relationship. The first horseman is criticism. Now, there is a big difference between a complaint and a criticism. A complaint is about a specific behavior. I'm upset that the dishes weren't done. A criticism is an attack on the person's character. You never do the dishes because you're selfish and lazy. Criticism usually starts with the words, you always or you never. It's an attempt to make the other person wrong at a fundamental level. When Eve tells her friend, you're always late because you don't care about my time, she isn't solving the lateness, she's attacking her friend's soul. The second horseman is the most dangerous one of all, contempt. Contempt is criticism's meaner, more arrogant older brother. It's when you speak from a place of superiority. It's the eye-rolling, the mocking, the name-calling, or the mean humor. Contempt is intended to make the other person feel small and despised. It is the greatest predictor of divorce and relationship failure. You cannot solve a problem with someone you don't respect. If you find yourself thinking, I'm smarter, better, or more mature than you, you are speaking from a place of contempt, and the argument is already lost. The fourth horseman is defensiveness. This is a natural reaction to criticism, but it's a trap. When we feel attacked, we cross our arms and say, it's not my fault, I only did that because you did this. Defensiveness is really just a way of blaming your partner. You're saying, the problem isn't me, it's you. By refusing to take even 1% of the responsibility, you make it impossible to find a solution. You aren't listening to understand, you're listening to defend. The fourth horseman is stonewalling. This usually happens after the first 3 have been running wild for a while. One person becomes so overwhelmed, so flooded with emotion, that they just shut down. They look away, they stop responding, they might even walk out of the room. To the person stonewalling, it feels like they're trying to keep the peace or to stay calm. But to the other person, it feels like a cold, hard wall of rejection. It's the ultimate fuck you, because it says, you don't even exist to me right now. So, how do we stop the horseman? How does Eve turn a stormy argument back into a safe conversation? The secret is the repair attempt. A repair attempt is any statement or action, silly or serious, that prevents negativity from spiraling out of control. It's the white flag in the middle of the war. It can be a simple, I'm sorry, I'm being too harsh, or can we take a 10-minute break? I'm feeling overwhelmed. It can even be a private joke or a gentle touch on the arm. Successful couples aren't the ones who don't fight. They're the ones who are great at repairing. They know how to de-escalate the tension before the horsemen take over. They also practice bids for connection. A bid is any attempt from one partner to get the other's attention, affirmation, or affection. If your partner says, wow, look at that bird, that's a bid. If you look at the bird, you're turning toward them. If you keep looking at your phone, you're turning away. The health of your relationship is built in these tiny, boring moments. If you turn toward each other consistently during the peaceful times, you build up a buffer of positivity that protects you when the stormy times hit. This profound insight into the mechanics of love comes from the man who turned relationship advice into a hard science. The book is The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work by Dr. John Gottman. This isn't just a book for married people. It's for anyone who wants to understand why their relationships with friends, family, or partners sometimes feel like a battlefield. Gottman provides clear, actionable exercises to help you map your partner's world, nurture fondness, and solve the solvable problems while learning to live with the unsolvable ones. He reminds us that 69% of relationship conflicts are actually unsolvable because they're based on fundamental differences in personality. The goal isn't to change the other person, it's to build a culture of appreciation where those differences don't become weapons. If you're tired of the same old fight, if you're ready to stop the eye-rolling and start the repairing, please read this book. It will show you that love isn't just a mystery, it's a set of skills that anyone can learn. I'm Eve, and I'm going to work on my softened startup now. If this video helped you see your arguments in a new way, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Join the Eve Squad as we learn to build houses that can survive any storm. And tell me in the comments, which of the 4 horsemen do you struggle with the most? Let's be honest together. I'll see you in the next one.